Well, we're on to the next one, and it's a complete contrast between the team we just played. We just played a team that wanted to run it and didn't really care to throw it very much, and now we're going against a team that wants to throw it and doesn't care to run it very much. They throw it well, too. Completed a bunch of passes, thrown over 240 passes, only thrown 2 interceptions, several touchdowns. They moved the ball really, really well. They scored a lot of points. And then probably the most intriguing aspect of the game is turnover ratio. They're the #1 turnover ratio team in the country, and I think we're in the top 10 or something. So, and turnovers usually make the difference between winning and losing, and I would guess that's going to happen this week.
You talk about Love. What kind of quarterback is he? Rhythm guy, big thrower, deep ball passer?
He's a guy that throws it on time and is very accurate with the football and very seldom puts the ball in a spot that you can make a play on it. You can bring pressure, and a guy can be completely free on a blitz or something, and he will throw the ball on time and put it on the money. He doesn't hold the ball. He doesn't wait for things to open up. He reads coverages really, really well and throws the ball on time to the right guy most of the time.
What's the best way to disrupt somebody like that?
I don't know. Since he's throwing it on time, you know, you always say when a quarterback's hot like that, you get pressure on him. But since he's throwing it on time, I don't know. You have to play great coverage. You have to change the coverages up, and you have to play really well in the secondary to give yourself a chance. You know, their coach has done and their coaching staff have done a great job taking a program that was down, and they're a whole lot better now than they were a couple years ago. They're really, really competitive. They could beat anybody in our league. Obviously, if they can go to Arkansas and beat Arkansas at Arkansas, they can beat anybody. They're playing with enthusiasm, they're playing with confidence, and that's all the head coach and his coaching staff getting it done.
Rocky, sitting at 5-1, you're 1 win away from being bowl eligible. Is the team aware of that? Are you aware of that? Does it motivate you in any way?
I'm aware of that, and I'm assuming the team's aware that when you win 6 games that you're bowl eligible. I would guess that's a very small motivating factor in our case. I mean, we're only halfway through the season, and that's not our #1 goal. Our #1 goal is to play for the conference championship, and that means this game's really important since it's a conference game.
Rocky, it seems like, to your point about the bowl game, you win 6, or if you win 8, or these days even if you win 12, it seems like somebody can find something wrong if you don't win the big one. I mean, have we kind of lost our way in terms of what defines success for a football program?
Well, I don't know. It depends on which seat you're sitting in, I guess. I mean, I'm as critical of our program as anybody else is. And our goal is to win every game. And there's a few teams that get that done, but very, very few. So when you don't win the game, you go about your business and try to make sure you have a chance to win the next game. And I think we're all driven in one form or another to, when you're a competitive person, we're all driven in one form or another to win. And when you don't win, it makes you feel bad. When you win, it makes you feel good. So I think that comes with the activity you're involved in.
Rocky, is your offense where it should be at midseason? I mean, the numbers are you're last in the league in a whole bunch of offensive categories. Are you disappointed it hasn't grown by leaps and bounds?
I'm not. I wish we were a little bit better than we are, but I didn't know the progress the offense would make. Going with a new idea and new formations and have inexperience at the receiver spot, and then our starting tailback gets hurt. I wish we were better, but we've won 5 games, so we can't be all that bad.
conversely pleased with all the metrics on defense? Because you look pretty dominant.
No, I don't get into that. I mean, last week you were talking about how good we were against the run, and I think they had 150 yards at halftime or something. I mean, there's only one stat that matters. There's only one statistic that matters, whether you win or lose.
But you guys kept them almost 100 yards under what their average was.
Oh, yeah, that's the way to look at the positive. That's nice that you're being positive. I appreciate when y'all being positive.
Of course, you said that the Utah State loss came down to one play. The win over Wyoming came down to one play. Is there any one factor you consider the difference between those two games?
Oh, I thought that our offense played much better in this last game than they did against Utah State. Much, much better. And whichever the play that won the game, that's a quarterback doing something that people say the quarterback shouldn't do. You're not supposed to run around back there and throw across your body back to the middle of the field, and it ended up being a touchdown, and we won the game. So I guess this time it was okay that he did that. But most of the time it's not okay to do that. Usually those things end the wrong way instead of the right way. But one play made a difference in both games. I mean, you can point to a lot of things, but one game, in those two games, one play made a big difference.
And what were you thinking when Ryan released that pass?
Well, I was looking to see if there was someone actually back there that could catch it. I didn't know if he just threw it or not. And, you don't really see how things work until you watch it on film. And we tell our guys all the time when the quarterback starts scrambling around, hook up with them. Even if you're playing zone coverage, you're supposed to hook up with the man that's nearest to you and don't leave him. Well, their guy hooked up with Bellinger, and all of a sudden they saw Ryan scrambling, and he kept running, and Bellinger stopped. So he didn't stay with him, so it worked to our advantage that time. That's what makes it fun to watch the game, I think. It drives coaches crazy, but I think for a fan, that was an exciting play. We had a more exciting play than that before that.
Ryan's ability to move the pocket and not lose his accuracy and go left and throw against the grain and not make a bad throw, is that kind of a unique thing to him?
I think that's him. Yes, I think that's him. And I think he's probably been doing it ever since he's been in Little League football. I'm sure he did it in Little League football. I'm sure he did it in high school football, and that's just him. That's the way he plays. And you can try to stop him from doing that stuff, but then you're preventing him from making plays like he did too. Once a player, as long as they do their assignment, once a player is out there, you got to let them be them. You got to let them play to their strengths.
What do you continue to see out of Ryan as far as confidence and leadership and growth in this senior year?
I don't think he has any trouble with confidence or leadership. I mean, his leadership style is his. I mean, he is a laid-back, easygoing, pat you on the back guy, whether it's good or bad. There's other people that, when I played quarterback, which is a million years ago, I was just the opposite of him. If things weren't going right, someone was hearing about it.
Rocky, how's Juwan feeling?
I think he's good. He didn't re-injure his ankle in the game, and he looked pretty close to full speed. I mean, you see a few things when you're around him all the time. You see a few things that he can normally do when he's 100% that he still can't do, but he's pretty close. And I thought he made a difference in our team, and I think our team's a lot better when he's out there. And him not getting re-injured is a positive, because hopefully he'll be 100% by the game on Saturday.
Coach, you excited to be playing a 4 p.m. kickoff game rather than 7:30?
I'd rather play at 1, but 4 is a lot better than 8. I forget, didn't we play at 8 at Colorado State or something? And 4 is a lot better than 7:30. But if I had my choice, we'd play them all at 1 o'clock.
You find that if your players are sitting around all day and it's 7:30 or an 8 o'clock game, that there's a little bit of emotional drain or an anxiety drain? It's not quite the same if You're amping them up at 4-1.
I would say that would be the case if we did it once a year. I mean, if we were playing at 1 all the time and then all of a sudden we had to play a 7:30 game, I think that'd be very difficult. But in our league, everybody's used to playing at 7:30, so when you play a 1 o'clock game, which we did at UCLA, you're worried that they're going to still be asleep because they're napping most of the day and watching games on TV. So 4 o'clock will be a change to our schedule. So hopefully at 4 o'clock we're ready to go because we're more used to going at 7:30.
How do you describe what they're running? Is it run and shoot? Is it 4 or 5 wide? Is it air raid? What is running?
Well, I think it falls in the air raid category. In the offenses that are running that now and being very successful doing it, I think they all come from the same tree. It's not what the run and shoot used to be, but it is. We see the same pass routes every week, and the reason we see them is because they're very difficult to stop. No matter what coverage you play, they have huge advantages. Okay? And they have huge advantages if the quarterback throws it on time. Now, if you can get a quarterback that's always looking for the big play, now you can disrupt him by pressure and those kind of things. He throws it on time. He's not worried about getting the big play. He's worried about completing a pass and moving down the field. So it's a frustrating thing if you let it be a frustrating thing. Going in the game, we got to know he's going to complete some passes and they're going to gain some yards. The trick is to keep their scoring down. You're not stopping them. You're not. But if you can keep them out of the end zone enough times, you have a chance to win.
Last year against Boise, it seemed like you got a couple licks in early against Brett Rippon. How much does that get in the quarterback's head if you can kind of get back there a couple times?
I think if you can hit a quarterback, I think it disrupts his confidence and it disrupts his ability to throw. This guy doesn't get hit. I mean, I've watched every film now several times, and they have guys come completely free on blitzes, and the ball is gone before you can hit the quarterback. So he's got a great feel for the pressure and knowing where to go with the ball. It's not always down the field. It might be a 3 or 4 yard completion, but he gets rid of it before he gets hit.
Is he very different from the last couple of big throwers that you faced? The Utah State kid? And
Well, since they both have the last name, the same last name, everybody wants to compare them. They're different quarterbacks. They're both very accurate with the football. Jordan Love at Utah State, he throws it more effortlessly, but he's always looking for the big play. He's looking to make you pay. This Love is much more controlled. He's looking to complete the ball and continue to get first downs and move the ball down the field. So one is a little more, I don't know, a little more disciplined than the other one is, but they both have great throwing ability. They just have a little different mindset.
What is the toughest challenge to teach young kids in the secondary to cope with the kind of offenses that you're facing in this conference?
Don't give up the big one and don't get frustrated. Because you can play zone or man-to-man, and he's going to complete the ball against both coverages. You just got to be able to tackle him and not let him throw it over the top of you. And I mean, it gets really frustrating for the defensive backs because there's a lot of times that they have the guy covered and they're still completing the passes now. Because quarterbacks and receivers have gotten so good and you can't touch receivers anymore, it's made it much more difficult to stop the passing game.
Parku, a good example of that. Back-to-back games, he gives up a big play earlier in the game, but then he comes back and makes big plays later.
Yeah, you can't. You can't let, if you give up a big play, you can't let it bother you because if it bothers you, you're going to give up several more.
Coach, does the team buy into anything about it being the homecoming game for San Jose State going in there and getting the
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that, and I I didn't know that really. But we had one at I think it was Colorado State's homecoming too. So back in my day when I played, that that's a slap in the face that people pick you for the homecoming game. I don't think it means the same thing nowadays. I don't think anybody really cares, just like I didn't even know it was their homecoming game. Hopefully that means a lot of people going to be there. Hopefully that means the crowd will be big.
Actually, nobody wants to give up a big play, but does the ability to control time of possession with these longer drives, the shorter complete passes, is that a concern for your defense?
Well, I think that helps them, obviously, and I think that is one of our strengths of our offense. When our offense has the ball, their offense does it, and our offense does a really good job of keeping the ball for an extended period of time so they don't have an opportunity to do it. This is where turnovers come into effect. I mean, if someone's trying to inch the ball down the field or continue to keep you off the field, you have to cause a turnover. You got to intercept the pass, you got to cause a fumble, you got to do something that gets you the ball back or changes momentum in your favor. And their defense has been really good at that. They give up some yards, but they keep them out of the end zone, and they cause a bunch of turnovers, which puts their offense right back on the field. And I already mentioned he's thrown 240-something passes, and he's only thrown 2 interceptions. So he doesn't throw it in places that you can get it.
Anything else for Coach?
One other question, Rocky. Today is Mountain West Conference Media Day for basketball, and the Aztecs were picked to finish second in a poll of local media members. You think that's a fair ranking? Does the media know what they're talking about?
Do you want me to really answer that one? If you all know what you're talking about? Well, I don't have a vote, and I'm not the media, but I'd have voted us to win conference championship. Yeah. Coach Dutch does a great job, and I think he's got good players. So if you have good players and a good coach, guess what? You win.
Hey, in this year of Mountain West surprises, which surprised you more? San Jose at Arkansas or Vegas at Vanderbilt?
I'd say San Jose at Arkansas. I mean, any time one of our teams beats a Power 5 team, which has happened many times this year, much more than normal, and one of our teams in our league beats a Southeast Conference team, gee whiz. I mean, that's supposed to be the best league in the country, isn't it? Southeast Conference. I think that just shows you how tough our league is from top to bottom. I mean, I love that stuff. I love when I saw the score. I thought that was the greatest thing ever.